Okay, we are live on YouTube.
Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the June Town Board meeting here in the town of Islip. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd ask Councilwoman Bergen if she would please lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States
of America
and to
and
the
to the republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
Thank you. Well, summer is fast approaching, and what better way to entertain the whole family than with the return of our smash hit drive-in movie night, Monday nights. Our free summer movies have always been a local favorite, and last summer with the drive-in movie series, it became one of the best ways for our community to safely come together for a family night. We're proud to welcome back the nights for a second year, and we thank Good Samaritan Hospital Catholic Health Services for making it possible and making it free for all our residents. Movie Night 2021 kicks off Monday, June 21st, this Monday, with Princess Bride at Byron Lake. Remember, space is limited and it's first come, first served. Gates open at 6:30, and they are asking everyone if they would care to bring a donation for the Food for Hope food pantry. You can visit our website at islipny.gov for additional movie night dates and locations, and we all hope to see everyone and their families there. I'd also like to remind residents of our many camps, programs, pools, and beaches that will be open and ready to serve all summer long. From playgrounds to pools to summer camps, beach yoga, sports, lifeguard programs, and more, our Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs have been presenting an array of opportunities to keep you and your family moving this summer. More information, including registration and sign-up details, can be found in your 2021 Summer Rec News or by visiting our website at islipny.gov. We're also pleased to announce that the town of Islip is still hiring for summer positions, and there are opportunities for recreation aides, recreation specialists, beach managers, lifeguards, swim instructors, park attendants, and more. And again, go to the town's website, islipny.gov/part-time jobs for all the information that you need. And lastly, this past week, Southwest Airlines launched their inaugural nonstop flight from Islip to Nashville. This is Islip's first new destination of 21 and offers a convenient way to visit one of the many top destinations in the United States. I had no idea that Nashville was quite the hub that it is, and there are so many places you can go to from Nashville. So finding a quick weekend getaway has never been easier. Go to southwest.com and book today, and looking not only for Nashville, but for many, many opportunities to travel, as long as you remember to come back home to our wonderful town of Islip and enjoy all the wonderful things that we have to offer. So we'll go to the agenda, and let me just remind anyone who wishes to address the board regarding any of the public hearings, board of cleanups on today's agenda, to either use the raise hand function on Zoom or type into the question and answer line stating which particular cleanup board of resolution you wish to speak on. So we'll begin this afternoon with our scheduled public hearings. We have three hearings for the board's consideration today, and I would ask our Deputy Town Clerk, Pat Kersey, to please read the first hearing notice.
I think I was going to do it today.
I'm sorry. JR, thank you very much. I'm sure Pat's very happy to hear that.
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead, JR.
Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Town Board of the Town of Islip on June 15th, 2021 at 2 p.m. to consider amending the Town of Islip Traffic Code.
Are there any questions or comments on that? No one from the public has signed up. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close the hearing and adopt the amendments to town code.
Thank you. That's a motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. If you would, please read the next hearing notice.
Okay, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Islip on June 15th, 2021 at 2 p.m. to consider entering into a use and occupancy agreement with Civil Air Patrol at the Long Island MacArthur Airport.
No one has signed up to speak. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, motion.
Make a motion to close the public hearing and offer the resolution for its adoption.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. And if you could, JR, the last hearing notice.
Okay, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Islip on June 15th, 2021 at 2 p.m. to consider amending the 2021 contract with Bayshore Brightwater's ambulance service for emergency ambulance services for the residents in that district.
Thank you, JR. Are there any questions or comments on this particular public hearing? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second
Second.
by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is adopted. Let us move now to the first resolution on the agenda. It is the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. I would call for a motion to convene.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Bergen. We are convened, a quorum being present. John Woolser is with us. John, the director, if you would please begin.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Madam Chair, members of the agency board. John Walzer, Executive Director, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip, New York. I have several items for your consideration today. The first item for your consideration would be the approval of the minutes from the agency board meeting on May 18th of this year.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are approved.
The next item for your consideration is an inducement resolution between the agency and EAG Properties Windsor Place LLC. This is an expansion of an existing project on Windsor Place in Central Islip. The operating company, Freeport Paper, is a manufacturer and specialty printer of pizza boxes and other food containers. This project involves a 14,000 square foot addition to 50 Windsor Place, as well as the addition of production equipment that will allow the company to increase productivity and add product lines. This project represents an over $3 million capital investment and the retention of 156 jobs and the addition of 30.
Any questions on this? Hearing none, motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, Supervisor.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second
Second.
Second.
by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
The next item for your consideration is an inducement authorizing resolution for Steel K LLC at 555 North Research Place, Central Islip. This project involves the assignment and assumption of an existing agreement to the buyer of this 182,500 square foot building, extensive renovations of the property, and a $26 million capital investment.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
The next item for your consideration is an authorizing resolution for a project you induced at last month's meeting between the agency and Reliance Communications, a manufacturer and distributor of wireless devices, relocating and expanding into 1560 Fifth Avenue in Bayshore.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
And the last item I have for your consideration is also an authorizing resolution for a project induced last month between the agency and New York Tent 100 Wilbur. This project involves the relocation and expansion of the corporate headquarters of New York Tent Company into 100 Wilbur Place, Bohemia.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. John, is there any other business to come before us?
I don't have anything else for you today.
If not, a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned. Okay, that takes us to item number 2 on the agenda. Town Board authorization to clean up or secure certain properties in the town of Islip. We have 12 parcels on the agenda for today. The first 2 and items 9 and 11 all pertain to a property that, it suffice to say, has been more than problematic over the past number of years. And before we address the first one of these, I would like to ask JR, our town attorney, if you would please give an overview of where we are today, where we've come from, and really the efforts that have been expended on the part of the town to bring the owners of this property, as frustrating as it has been, into compliance.
Sure. As you all know, the town has a long history with this property, beginning back when Dowling left. The board, working with the community, adopted the Planned Landmark Preservation Overlay District to preserve the historical structures on the site. Since that time, however, the town's fire marshals have been to the site on countless occasions and have issued, repeatedly issued notices of violations. It seems as if the property owner is not willing to take care of the property until the town actually goes out there and issues these violations. And that's exactly what the town has been doing. Since November of 2016, the fire marshal's office has been down to these properties to conduct inspections over 24 times and has issued 22 notices of violation. In September of 2019, appearance tickets were issued to the current property owners. And as this board is aware, last year, the town went so far as to institute a cleanup proceeding. But once again, the property was ultimately brought into compliance days prior to the public hearing. So as you mentioned, Supervisor, today we have 4, quote unquote, Dowling properties before the board, 2 of which have not been brought into compliance. And those are numbers 1 and 9 on today's agenda. With respect to those properties, I'll let Taryn handle the public hearing, but I would recommend that the board move forward and adopt the resolutions authorizing the town to complete the work necessary to clean up the properties. As far as the other 2 properties, which are numbers 2 and 11 on today's agenda, there has been some work done. According to the fire marshal's office, there was a landscaping crew and tree removal crew on site. However, given the pattern of neglect that has occurred at the property, I would recommend that the board not withdraw these resolutions, but instead adjourn these 2 public hearings to the July town board meeting to ensure that the properties continue to be properly maintained.
Thank you very much, JR. That's a really good suggestion because, as all of us know, if we don't take that action and they don't follow through with these 2 parcels that they are appearing to be addressing, it would reset the clock and we'd have to start from the beginning in bringing an action. So I think it's a very wise course for us to pursue, to just table or adjourn these. And,
May I say something, Madam Supervisor?
Oh, absolutely, Councilman.
So I know I join all of my colleagues on the town board in the frustration with this property. This particular property owner refuses to be a good neighbor. They're a chronic thorn in the side for the Oakdale community. And we, the town, are going to continue to do everything we can to keep that property in compliance. So I'm glad that we are going to continue to monitor this property into July and into the future, as we have in the past. So I thank the fire marshals for their efforts in trying to keep this property into compliance. And I pledge to the community, as I know the entire board does, that we'll continue to fight to keep this property in compliance so that it doesn't become an eyesore.
You know, JR made reference to it. I mean, early on when Dowling left and it was purchased, the Historical Society, with every good cause, had concerns about protecting the integrity of this historic gem in our community. And working with the Historical Society, in particular, Mary Ann Alms and her board, working with the planning department, the commissioner, we were able to create that overlay district to protect a lot of what is so historically significant. And then to see this happen, it is so very frustrating. So we're going to do everything that we can, and we ask the community to continue to be patient, because unfortunately, even a derelict property owner has rights, and we have to, follow the letter of the law. So Taryn, having said all of that, why don't we go to the first item on the agenda for board ups and cleanups, item 1.
Number 1 is to clean up the premises located at 0 Central Boulevard, Oakdale. On this property, there now exists high grass and overgrown vegetation, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Okay, now there have been, and I just got a message that popped up from Mary Ann Alms, and likewise, Mary Ann, thank you for all of your efforts. We all care. And obviously you who live in the neighborhood really have more than a vested interest in, and you've been caretakers there, and we appreciate that. There are 3 people that did sign up to speak. We're going to take all 4 of these in order. So if the speakers, we could address the speakers right now if they still care to speak. The first being David Chan. David, are you out there? I see that Thomas Alfano has logged in and wishes to speak. So since you're ready, Tom, why don't you go ahead? You have 3 minutes. No, I cannot hear you, Tom.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. So Supervisor Carpenter and members of the Town of Islip Board, thank you for allowing me to speak today. All of you certainly are no stranger to the abandoned Dowling campus, as already noted in today's meeting. As a community, we witness its slow destruction daily. As a community united, we banded together to help slow and hopefully prevent the total destruction of history from taking place. We patrol these grounds every night. We witness break-ins, even one just last night happened. Vandalism, drug use, other nefarious acts that impact the quality of life in Oakdale. We've used our own funds to help protect the various historic objects around the campus, some 100 years old. This isn't a small plot of land in the town that's not being maintained. It's 25 acres in the heart of our neighborhood. It's the namesake of our neighborhood, Idle Hour. Mercury has time and time again failed to act in a responsible manner. They are placing our community in harm's way. Even as we speak, they still fail to bring the structures and the property into compliance. And I will say the mansion property is still not in compliance based on the town's codes. As our elected representatives, we are asking the town, please no longer provide Mercury any requested extensions whatsoever. Do not allow them to delay improvement. Please enforce the town code in a timely manner. Demand Mercury make the necessary repairs and ongoing maintenance to ensure the neighborhood is not blighted with the destruction of this historic site. And we would also ask that a liaison be established between the community and the Town of Islip so we can have direct contact with the town regarding this property and the issues that are present and ongoing. Thank you for your time this afternoon. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. you know, again, just to reiterate, we are doing everything that we are legally permitted to do. And I have to emphasize legally, because as much as we would like to go in there, you know, we can't legally put a fence around private property. There are so many things that we cannot do that we're precluded from doing legally. But anything we can do, and we are not going to grant them any extensions. You can, you know, rest assured that we are all committed to making sure that we do everything we possibly can. So Taryn, do you want to continue with this? Oh, wait a minute. We do have two more speakers. David Chan and Stephen Donovan both signed up to speak. Are either of you ready, or have you chosen not to?
Hello. My name's
Could you just state your name, please?
Stephen Donovan,
Oh,
Edgewood
great.
Avenue, Oakdale, New York.
Go ahead, Steve. You have the floor and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you for letting me speak. I'm relatively new to the Neighborhood Watch Group. Only been here about 7 months now, 6 months, with Tom and David Chan and numerous other gentlemen and ladies in the neighborhood. I just would like to say, if there's any way that we could get some of the items that the campus or Mercury International has been cited for, as a review of the Town of Islip Code, Chapter 6A, Property Maintenance, Article 3, Community Preservation and Anti-Blight Enforcement. There's a ton of items that don't seem to be addressed at all, and for there to be a delay in fining or penalizing Mercury International is a great injustice as far as I'm concerned. If the articles are written in the code, they seem to be enforceable to me. So I know that the fire marshals have been doing a great job, but I'm not sure who else is doing the inspections. And I have 2 people that I'm aware of, one including myself, that would volunteer, go through the code and cite all the particular items that are not being answered and provide that to the town so that the entire list of things could be cited. It's not like you go and make an inspection and you find one thing wrong and go back in another 2 weeks and find another problem. It should all be addressed at once. I know as a residential homeowner, you'd rather have leniency towards people, but this as a multi-million-dollar international corporation should address all the issues at hand. And I'm sure that myself and everyone in the group would be glad to assist in finding all the issues that should be addressed as per the town code. And thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And then our final speaker is David Chan. David, are you there? David? All right, I just got a message that he's having technical issues. So based on the last 2 speakers, again, let me reiterate that there is no call for leniency here on this particular issue from anyone on the town board or the fire marshals or code enforcement or anyone else for that matter. And we are not granting them any extensions unless legally we are forced to do so. So having said all of that, Taryn, why don't you continue then on item 1?
Supervisor, someone has their hand raised. I don't know if you wanted to. Charles Stuckland.
He's agreeing with Mary Ann's comments, but did not sign up to speak.
I already said you guys have to vote on number 1, please.
Yeah. So again, we're talking about 0 Central Boulevard, Oakdale, item 1. Any questions or comments?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with all of the words of Councilman O'Connor. I did receive letters from Mr. Alfano and Mr. Donovan, along with a slew of other residents who I am familiar with, and I'm very familiar with the property. I lived down the street from there for a while. I just wanted to say that one of the residents had made a recommendation that there be a liaison, and Supervisor, I think that might be a good idea. I think it could be helpful to the community.
Well, I think that basically that has been public safety and the town attorney's office, and Taryn has been intimately involved with all of these properties. But if we feel that we need something in addition to that, we certainly can do that. Thank you.
With that, I'd like to make the motion to adopt the resolution.
We have
Second.
a motion and a second from Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it is approved unanimously. Okay, we'll go then to item 2.
So number 2, I believe that JR had requested that we table until July.
Okay,
Yeah, item 2, number 2 was the property where some work was done, but we want to ensure that they continue to maintain the property. So instead of restarting the clock, we can just adjourn to July.
okay, I'll make that motion to adjourn. Second by
Second.
Councilman O'Connor.
Se-
The item is adjourned then to our meeting in July. The next Dowling one would be item 9, 75 Idle Hour Boulevard. Taryn, please.
Number 9, to clean up the premises located at 75 Idle Hour Boulevard, Oakdale. On this property, there now exists high grass and overgrown vegetation, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? This is the, what was the student center?
Make a motion to approve the resolution cleaning up this particular parcel.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. And then the final Dowling resolution, also some work was done on number 11, correct, Taryn?
Yes, correct. That's address 120 Central Boulevard.
Okay, so they did a little bit, but certainly haven't done what they need to do to complete it. So we will make a motion then to adjourn this until the July meeting, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? That is adjourned. Okay, then we will continue along with our board of cleanups to item 3, if you would, please.
Sure. Number 3 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 4, to clean up the premises located at 16 Muncie Road, Bayshore. On this property, there now exists overgrown vegetation with litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises. And I believe there's a speaker.
Yeah, there is a speaker on this, Michelle Micagnano. If you would please announce your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Michelle Macagnano. I'm the attorney for Shell Point Mortgage Servicing. And my clients had advised me that they've already sent out crews to pick up all litter, debris, mow the lawn, take care of everything. When they sent me pictures that it was done, the only thing left would be overgrown vegetation. The trees and bushes need to be trimmed, and that was bid out and is scheduled to be done on the 21st of June.
Well, likewise with the other properties, since they did make an effort, however, it's not in total compliance, why don't we make a motion to adjourn to the next meeting in July? Do I have a second?
Yes, that's fine, Supervisor. I'll make that second.
Actually, Councilwoman Mullen beat you to the punch. I'll get you on the next one. So we have a motion and a second. That one will be adjourned to the July meeting. Thank you. Taryn, item 5.
Number 5, to clean up the premises located at 65 Mohican Avenue, Ronkonkoma. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and an unregistered vehicle with litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
And I do believe there's a speaker on this one also, Susan Grant. If you could state your name and address for the record, please. And you have 3 minutes. Susan?
I'm sorry. Sorry. I wanted to speak on his behalf.
Susan?
I'm sorry. Can't get on.
Susan, are you there?
No, I'm sorry. I can't get on.
Well, I can hear you. Just speak a little louder.
can
You
only-
are on.
Oh, okay. I am on. Thank you. Can you hear me now by chance?
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was just calling on George Mogovich's behalf. Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, George has passed away. I've known George for over 15 years, and he just was shy of his 75th birthday when he passed. He did. Yeah.
Susan? It looks like we've lost Susan. Taryn, I know that you had had conversations with her. Perhaps you can let us know what she's trying to say.
I did. So Ms. Grand is a neighbor of the property. She had informed me, which I believe our legal secretary also had found out, that the owner of this property did pass away earlier this year. And that's a reason for the property being in the condition that it's in. Right now, there is no mortgage, so there's no bank to really hold accountable. The property was owned outright. So I believe Ms. Grant had informed me that the owner may have a nephew somewhere, but we haven't been contacted by anybody. So right now we are asking for a cleanup. I had provided to her that the work is done prior to our crews getting out there. We won't do any work, but until right now, I still have to request for the work to be done because nothing has been completed before today.
Yeah, based on the pictures that are there and the time of the year that it is, it seems like it would be not fair to the rest of the neighbors not to proceed and do the cleanup. So do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second
Second.
by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Okay, that takes us to item 7, I believe.
It's going to be item 6, please.
6.
Number
Yes,
6,
I'm sorry.
board up the premises located at 71 West Shore Road, Oakdale. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, which constitute a nuisance and present a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to unknown persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 7 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 8 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. We previously voted on number 9, so I'm going to go with number 10. Number 10, to board and clean up the premises located at 102 Boulevard Avenue, Oakdale. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured
Excuse
windows and
me.
doors.
My note says West Islip. Is it Oakdale or did you say something other than?
I apologize. It is West Islip. I apologize.
All right, no problem. Okay, continue.
Sure. So that's number 10, to board and clean up the premises located at 102 Boulevard Avenue, West Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, a fence in disrepair, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to unknown persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 11 was already addressed. It takes us to item 12.
Number 12, to board and clean up the premises located at 351 Molly Boulevard, Holbrook. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, a fence in disrepair, with litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to unknown persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second by Councilman O'Connor, Cochran rather. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to item 3. Designation of Pure Biomass Inc. as a sole source manufacturer and supplier for replacement parts and services required to maintain the photobioreactors utilized for the operation of the town's shellfish Agriculture Facility. Any questions?
Motion.
Approve.
Motion by Councilman, I'm sorry,
Cochran.
Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 4, authorization for the filing of an application for state grant and aid for the Clean Energy Communities Program to implement clean energy actions, save energy costs, and improve the environment. Any questions? Hearing none, let me just thank the commissioner and all of his efforts on getting us as a town to that clean energy status. It's much appreciated. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 5 of the appropriation transfers. Any
Motion.
questions? Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 6 are the bid awards. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 7 of the option year resolutions. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Next is an authorization for the supervisor to execute a professional services agreement with Corvell Corporation for administration and claim services for comprehensive self-insured workers' comp program for the town of Islip. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 10, authorization for the supervisor to enter into a third one-year agreement with Exchange Ambulance Corp. of the Islips for the continued use and occupancy of the real property of 190 Carlton Avenue, East Islip. Any questions? Motion
Motion.
by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
By Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Sorry.
Item 11.
I think we skipped item number 9.
Number 9, if we could go
Oh,
back.
I'm sorry. You're right. I will go back to 9. Authorization for the supervisor to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the East Islip School District for the purchase and construction of certain equipment pursuant to Gentleman Municipal Law, Section 119-0. Any questions?
A motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. So that now takes us to 11.
I think Councilwoman Mullen is on mute, but I think she was saying
I'm sorry.
for item number
Councilwoman
9,
Mullen?
Councilwoman Mullen was on mute, but she was saying recuse. So
Oh, I
it's
apologize.
4 in favor, 1 recusal.
On item 9. Thank you.
You, JR.
Okay, item 11, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider amending certain schedules of the Islip Town Code entitled Traffic Code Part 2. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Or item 12, authorization for the supervisor to amend the previous approved consultant project by Landrum and Brown for the West Concourse redevelopment, including a change order for the use of surplus funds of Long Island MacArthur Airport to cover the increased cost of the amended study and reimbursement of the FAA grant, New York State grant, and the passenger facility charges funds accordingly. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 13, very happy to see some special events back on the agenda. On that point, the governor made an announcement today. We still haven't gotten the official directives, but we are monitoring them closely. There's been guidance for runs and festivals and block parties, et cetera. And providing that everyone complies with the guidance, we will be issuing those special event permits. So I thank the clerk's office for all their efforts on this too. So we have a motion on the special events. Motion
Motion.
by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 14, authorization for the supervisor to execute an amended grant from Suffolk County Office for the Aging for the purchase of a 2022 Ford Transit high roof extended length passenger van to assist in the delivery services to its senior citizens. Any questions? Motion by
Motion.
Councilman Mullins, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 15, authorization for the supervisor to enter into various agreements for programs or events to be held throughout the town to be funded either by registration or grant funds. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by, who was that? I'm sorry. Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Okay. Item 16, authorization for the supervisor to enter into an agreement with South Bay Paddle Wheel Cruises to provide a sunset dinner cruise on the Lauren Christie from the Bay Shore Marina. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion
Motion.
Motion.
by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 17, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider amending Islip Town Code, Chapter 68, entitled zoning. I'll make that motion. Second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 18, authorization for the supervisor to apply for and accept funding from the New York State Department of Homeland Security for the elevation of certain real property in West Islip.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 19, town board approval to amend the listing of eligible participants for the 2020 Active Volunteer Workers Service Award Program. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. We go to item 20, acceptance of the draft EIS is adequate for commencing public view. JR, if you would please give an overview of where we are. You know, we were working on doing a sort of a informational tutorial on the whole secret process, because sometimes it's a little bit vague and mysterious, if you will. But just exactly what does this mean by us accepting this draft EIS?
Sure, but before, did we skip item number 12? I just want to make sure. I think we did it.
No, we did it.
You
Okay.
did it. Yep. Thank you.
All right, so item number 20 today, this resolution only basically states that the draft environmental impact statement for the Gray Barn property in Sayville is adequate for public review in terms of scope and content. It's just a required procedural step in the secret process prior to the public being able to view the document. It's not a determination that the town board agrees with the conclusions that are set forth in the DEIS, and it does not commit the town board to approve the proposed action when it ultimately comes before us, whenever that, at a later date, whenever that time may be. It's just, like I said, it's just a procedural step that will allow the public participation process to officially begin.
And you know, that's very important when you said public participation, because from everything I've been able to glean about the secret process, this is truly an opportunity for the public to help craft a proposal, to really have input on what happens with any given proposed use of a parcel, especially one that is significant. So again, as JR said, this is just a required step in a very lengthy legal process. And we are just accepting it so that we can review it, because previous to this, it was rejected at least once that I can remember as not
Exactly.
being complete.
It was rejected twice.
Right, because it was not complete and didn't meet, check every box, if you will. So,
I just-
okay, having said all of that, may I have a motion, please?
I just have a quick question, if that's
Sure.
okay, Madam Supervisor. JR, so when we go into this draft EIS, is it including the entire parcel, which includes maintaining the horse farm, or is it just the development portion of it?
This is for Island Hills, not for the.
Yeah, not for the horse farm.
Oh, it's not for the horse farm. Okay,
That's
sorry.
right.
Thank you.
I make a motion, approve.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Okay, item 21, the acceptance of a monetary donation from Catholic Health Services Good Samaritan to offset the cost associated with the free 2021 Summer Drive-In Movie Series. Motion to accept by
Motion.
Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. 22, authorization for the supervisor to execute an intermunicipal agreement or agreements with the villages of Salt Air, Village of Ocean Beach, and the Village of Bright Waters, along with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for the Fire Island Inlet to Montauk Point Coastal Storm Risk Management Project. Are there any questions on this? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 20.
Sorry, that was a recusal on my one on that last one.
On the item 22?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have 4 in favor, 1 recusal. Item 23, authorization for the supervisor to designate JLL as the preferred responder. RFP titled Development of Parcels of Land at Long Island MacArthur Airport. RFP, enter into an exclusive negotiating and license agreement with JLL for and accept any and all grant funding for the town project, and authorization for the town attorney to negotiate an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Suffolk in furtherance of the project. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by
Second.
Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. I believe that is all that we have before us today. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Councilman Mullins, second by Councilman